Hello, this video is going to be on the IXL Algebra 2 topic, R.1, convert between exponential and logarithmic form with rational basis. So just like multiplication and division are inverse operations, or addition and subtraction are inverse operations, exponents and logarithms are also inverses of each other. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to solve exponential equations in an easier way. So we're going to take some notes. I'm going to pull up my PowerPoint, and I'd like you to copy these down. You don't need to copy down the origin of the word, but I just wanted to let you know where this strange sounding word comes from. It's not actually that weird at all, because log comes from logos, meaning proportion or ratio, and arithmetic or arithmos, the arithmetic part is number. So it's a ratio number when you put it together. That's where this word logarithm comes from. So what is it, more importantly? Logarithms are another way of thinking about exponents. So if you have 2 to the 4th power, 2 times itself 4 times, that's equal to 16. But another way to write that in logarithmic form is log base 2 of 16 is 4 or equals 4. So in general, we can generalize this with the formula log base b of a equals c. And that's the same as b to the power of c equals a. So this is written in exponential form, whereas this one is written in logarithmic form. So both equations describe the same relationship between a, b, and c, where b is the base, c is the exponent, and a is called the argument. So what it basically does is, instead of saying something to the power of something equals whatever the answer might be, you're saying this to the power of what equals a. So it's solving for the exponent. C is the exponent. So let's do a couple of examples together on IXL. All right, so 6 to the power of 1 equals 6. Now, the log of base 6 of 6 is equal to what? And what this is asking us really is 6 to what power equals 6? Well, it's not changing, right? So this is just 6 to the 1st power. This question mark, that should be equal to 1. 6 to the 1st power equals 6. Okay. So again, here's log base 5 of 5 equals 1, right? This is telling us 5 to the 1st power is equal to 5. Same idea. Oh, it took my apostrophe, sorry. Okay, let's try this one. This one is a little different. All right, so 6 to the power of 3, right? 6 times 6 times 6 is equal to 216, right? But we could also say that as log base 6, right? That's the base of 3. So 6 to the power of 3 equals what? See how the exponent is now the answer here. So log base 6 of what equals 3? Well, this would have to be 216, right? Because 6 to the power of 3 equals 216. So I just want you to get used to writing this and how it works in this, so you can start to get a little bit faster with this as you see the pattern. It's going to switch it up on you a little bit, okay? So here we have log of 1000 equals 3. Now what this doesn't show you is if there's no base written here, you see how there's no base for this one? If there's no base, then you have to know that there's an invisible 10 there, because the numbers, the number system that we use is a tens based number system. So log base 10, if there's nothing there, of 1000 equals 3, because 10 to the 3rd power equals 1000. So we're just filling that in here. So you have to know what the exponent is, right? So the 10, you don't see it here, but you do see it there. So this one's a little bit tricky, right? Let's rewrite this. So we have log, since there's no base, what's the base? That's right, it's 10 of 1 equals 0. So what this is saying is the base is 10, right? Log base 10. And then our answer is the exponent. So to the power of 0 equals 1. And remember, anything to the power of 0 equals 1. All right, let's skip ahead and see if these get any trickier. Okay, so here we have fractions, right? Of 1/8 equals -3. So 2 to what power makes 1/8? Well, remember, when you do it to a negative power, that means it's 1 over something. So if you do it to a negative power, you're like having 1 over 2 instead. And what do you multiply that times? Well, that would be 3 times, right? So this would be like to the -3rd power. So sometimes your exponents will be negative if you're dealing with these fractions, right? So in this case, 9 to what power makes 1 over 9? That would be a -1 because it's 1 in the numerator. And here's just putting those ideas together, right? This is just writing it backwards. So I would recommend to write this how you're used to it. So log, since there's no base, we put a 10 of 10 equals 1, right? And this is just telling us 10 to the power of 1 equals 10. So here's 10 to the power of 1 equals 10. All right, this is similar. Log base what of 1 over 512 equals -3? Well, the base here, you can see it as the base here. That would be an 8. All right, let's keep going. Oh, here we have 2 blanks. So let's see what would make sense here. All right, 10 to the power of 2 equals 100, right? All right, so here we have log base, and we don't have a base, right? So we know that's log base 10. So let's think, 10 to what power? We're given the second power, right? But when we write this, we write it with the answer as the exponent. So 10 to the second power equals 100. Since there's no base here, we don't write the 10, we just write the 100. And we can just switch these sides since it's an equal sign. So 2 is equal to log base 10, we don't need the 10, of 100. Okay, this is pretty similar. Again, you have 2. So we can rewrite this as 5. Remember, that's the base. This is the exponent to the power of -1 equals 1/5. And here you can just see this is written backwards. It starts with the 1/5, and then here you put the 5 and the -1. So you can, since they're both sides are equal, you can write the right side first or the left side first, and it doesn't matter. Okay, let's keep going. And yeah, it looks like everything is pretty similar. Just remember, if there's no base, then that base is 10. So here it wants you to write the exponential equation in logarithmic form completely, right? So remember, we start with log, and then what's the base? The base is right here, base 10, so we don't need to write it, but might accept it. Let's see if it accepts it. And then this is the power here, right? And then the exponent's our answer. So of 1 over 10, oh, here's the fraction, 1 over 10 equals -1. Remember, we're solving for the exponent. All right, there you have it. I hope that you start understanding how to convert between exponential and logarithmic form and that this makes sense.